What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's so nice to see you again. If you clicked on this video, you probably have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, and that is to not be a victim. Listen, I am speaking from experience. The whole reason I got this idea to record this video is because I was playing victim. And once we realize that we are actually not the victim to anything, life gets a lot better. Listen, my goal and my purpose, I believe, is to help people realize that life is actually incredible. Oh gosh, I'm about to throw someone under the bus, but I just worked with someone the other day, and she basically said that she does not see every single day as a blessing, that she believes that the government and, the higher up people have programmed this life for us to be in this rat race of working our tail off until the day that we die, suffering and having a miserable life. And, I do see to a certain extent how, especially in the United States, it's programmed where, we go to college, we get married, we get a house, we get in debt, we get, we work until we're 70 years old, whatever, 65. I get that the outer world is programmed like that, but that does not mean that we need to fall in that trap. Listen, I'm not going to go and talk about people that are in third world countries that don't have access to internet or healthcare or civilization, but I'm talking about America, okay? That's all I can speak from as an American. If you are alive and you were born here, you have no excuse to not get what you want. The reason I came up with this video was because the other day I was playing victim. I texted my sister because she had been going to all of these events and seminars and just getting great business deals, leveling up in every aspect, and I started feeling really crappy about myself. I was like, oh my gosh, because I had previously attended an event. I was so excited about it. I paid, I got all ready. I was looking forward to it for 3 weeks. I pulled up and nobody was there. So it was really discouraging, honestly. I was like, what on earth? You've got to be kidding me. And then she's just getting all these events left and right. And I was like, dang, this kind of sucks. Poor me. Why is this happening to me? And I told her that, and she was like, dude, you have to remember that this is all readily available to you. You just can't give up. I am not special. I'm just going after what I want. And I'm like, hello, why can I be so stupid? Why can I be so victim? That's disgusting. That was a couple days ago. You guys have to remember, I still mess up. When I talk to you, it's because I learned something and now I want to help other people. And so right away I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. She's not different from me, I'm just being all, poor me, my event got canceled, now nothing's working. Hello, did I even try? I tried for 20 minutes, maybe 30, and I couldn't find any events online. What does that mean? I'm just gonna give up and submit myself to the government and work the rest of my life and live a terrible life? No, it means I'm gonna try harder because I want it. So what are the odds that night, as soon as I flip my mindset around, because I always talk about, it all comes from up here. As soon as I flip my mind around, because the phone listens, I got an ad on Instagram for a free seminar about the subconscious mind, which is literally what I'm interested in. This is what I talk about all the time, is how we can get anything we want with the power of our mind. Tonight in Chicago, downtown. I was like, boom, free, 7 to 9. I signed up. I'm going tonight. And as soon as I switched my mindset, I'm not even joking, things just started coming. All right, Gabriella, so what's your point? My point is that if you want something bad enough, you are going to get it. And that girl that I worked with the other day, it made me really sad because she couldn't find joy. And I asked her, I was like, what do you like doing? And she told me she likes baking, she likes working out, she likes video gaming, she likes reading. I'm like, okay, well, you like doing all these things. Isn't that a blessing in itself? And I tried putting it into perspective of her, there are literally some people that did not wake up today that would have loved to wake up. And I get it. There are a lot of people out there that sadly they wish they didn't wake up, and that's what I'm here to help. And I don't have all the answers. I don't have the code cracked. I'm just a 24-year-old girl from Illinois trying to help people realize that if you want something, you can go get it. But thank God I had my sister to just boost me up, and just be like, you're not special. Or I'm not, she's not special. You're not different. You're more than capable enough. So stop acting like poor me. And seriously, that's what I'm telling you today. I'm going to be your sister and be like, stop saying, poor me, you can't get this, poor me, you can't do that. Yes, you can. You might not get it like that, but if you put your mind to it, you will get it. And it's all about getting your mind right. And again, like I always say, but you have to want it bad enough. Let me give you a scenario. There's two people, Kim and Joan, okay? They both work at the same job. Let's say they work at Target, okay? Kim and Joan both get fired. Kim is like, oh my gosh, my life is over. How am I gonna be able to live? She goes home, she gets under her blankets, she cries, she starts eating hot Cheetos, she starts running around telling everybody my life is over, I don't have a job. And Joan is like, oh my gosh, I got fired. Okay, you know what? This is happening for me, not to me. Well, here's the thing. I didn't really love working at Target. So what's something I love? Well, I love doing yoga. You know, I'm going to actually apply to a yoga studio. So she goes into a yoga studio. Hey, I'm looking for a new job. Oh, cool. We're actually hiring. And it's now she's going to get paid 3 times more than she would at Target. Do you see what I mean? I mean, that was a really off the top of my head example, but it's all about perspective and not playing victim. Everybody gets fired. You know how many times I've gotten fired? You know, if I just went home and sat on my butt and been like, I just got fired, my life is over. Yeah, it would have been over because I would have been not making money. No, get up, go make money. Stop thinking that it's happening to you. Do you realize that everybody has stuff happening to them? I'm looking around at cars right now. Everybody is going through something right now, big or small. We are human beings. And Tony Robbins says the biggest problem that humans have is that they don't think they should have any. If you start walking around life thinking that nothing wrong should happen with you, honey, you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you go in saying, okay, I am ready to conquer whatever life throws at me today because I'm a bad and I'm prepared. And that's why an emergency fund is so crucial. This is just getting off the tangent, but if you want to feel prepared, you need to have security. You need to have a couple $1,000s in the bank for when things go bad, because it's not if, it's when, okay? My car broke down the other day. $800, bye-bye. But that's what happens when you have a car. Another example. I'm sitting right now in the forest preserve-ish. I guess I can show you guys. It looks like this, okay? Somebody could easily say, that is so ugly. Ew, there's snow, there's no leaves on the trees. How do you think that's pretty? But me, on the other hand, I think, oh my gosh, the sun is out. It's 46 degrees. There's green grass. The sky is blue. There's trees around me. It is all about perspective. And again, you have to want to see. Honestly, I remember in high school, I would come to places like this and be like, ew, because I was just walking around with these tinted films over my eyes thinking that everything was miserable. And that's a huge part of life is a mirror to how you feel. So if you're feeling all icky and low and the world's out to get you, then yeah, you're gonna see the world being out to get you. But if you think that every day is literally a chance to get closer to your dream life, not even closer, because what I want, it's not there's no destination in life. It's just a never-ending journey of growing and figuring out and failing and attempting and loving. I don't know. It's just a bunch of different emotions. I don't know if you guys have heard of this story, but there's a story where there's this woman at an airport and she goes and she buys cookies. And she sits down at the gate waiting for the plane. And all of a sudden, there's a guy that sits next to her. And, a little bit later, he reaches in the bag and he eats a cookie. And she's like, what? Well, in the story, she didn't say anything. She was just kind of like, okay, rude. And then she started eating her cookies, whatever. And he takes another one. And she's like, you weirdo. She grabs her stuff and she gets on the plane. She's like, how rude and disrespectful and weird is this man? He's eating my cookies, doesn't even say anything. As soon as she gets on the plane, she opens her purse and she sees her bag of cookies unopened. So that whole time, she was actually eating his cookies. He had the same bag of cookies and he was kind enough to share with her. He was smiling, thinking oh, she wants some of my cookies. But she had this disgusting foul look on her face. See, that is what I'm talking about. It is really, nothing is ever as it seems. But it is when it's in your mind. When you think, oh, this person is so rude and disrespectful. Like, you're gonna form anything that they do to fit that category. And that's why I think it's so important, and I'm so excited for the seminar tonight, because I truly believe if we program our minds to think humans are mostly good, the world is for us, and things are happening for us and not to us, that every little thing that happens, whether it's good or bad, even though nothing is actually good or bad, it's just how we interpret it, actually a huge learning lesson and part of why we're here. There was this effect I read about, I forgot what it was, like the yin yang. Basically, when something really good happens, it's important to not get overly excited, because the thing that you think is the best thing ever could turn into the worst thing ever, and the worst thing can turn into the best thing. Does that make sense? Like, for me, I went through something really, really hard and just terrible. I did it to myself, but I'm not going to get into the story. But because of my actions, I got myself into a lot of trouble, and it was still to this day probably the worst day of my life. But because of that incident, I am now a completely different person. Like, literally completely. I stopped drinking alcohol because of it, if that gives you any sort of frame of reference. So the worst day of my life actually made me the best person I've been. So really, nothing is as it seems. It's just all about how you interpret it. Victim mindsets get you absolutely nowhere besides more into a deep rut. God loves you. If you don't believe in God, fine. The universe loves you. The world loves you. So you need to love yourself and realize nothing's that deep. Everything is okay as long as I see the good in it. And that, yes, that could be the hardest part. Trust me. Like I said, I'm speaking from experience. The entire reason that I started making this video is because the other day I was playing victim, but I snapped myself out of it really quick, and now look, tonight I'm going to a seminar, and I'm so freaking excited, and it was that easy. Listen, you guys, life is really good, and there are people that wish that they could be outside in this disgusting forest that you think it is, but they're trapped in a hospital. There is always good to see. You just need to be willing to see it. And as soon as you force yourself to be willing to see it, life gets a lot better. I am telling you, as somebody, I used to be a really, like, dark person. I think I used to be, like, I don't know, I was really dark, and I saw life as not good. I always was seeing the bad. I had anxiety up to here. I couldn't understand why people were happy all the time. I remember my sister, I think I've told her this, but as well, if you're watching, well, she is going to watch this, but she used to be really happy as a kid, and I almost got uncomfortable. I was like, how could someone be so happy from, like, this life? Like, there's so much bad. Now I'm telling you, I am that annoying person to people. I think life is so freaking amazing, and if you aren't there yet, I'm just trying to give you hope that it is possible to switch your mindset little by little. And with growing up, I am seeing that the world is such a huge blessing, and I just want you guys to see that too. I don't know if this video helped anybody. Again, I'm just a girl. No, I'm really just still learning how to do this whole thing. I get on here, I'm gonna be honest, this one I didn't really practice or even plan for. I don't really practice them, I just plan a little bit. I just turned the camera on and started talking. I came up with this topic like 30 minutes ago, but I hope it touched somebody. I truly just want to help somebody. So if you're watching this, I don't care who you are, if you want to see anything, if my words somehow help you a little bit, just you don't even have to let me know, just that's amazing. And if you want to hear anything, just comment it down below. I love making these videos. Today, I wish I prepped a little bit more, but I find so much joy helping people and making people smile and get that aha moment of, oh, that makes sense. Like, that I'm gonna start thinking like that. So yeah, happy Tuesday, or happy whatever day it is, you guys. Life is good, God is better, and yeah, see you guys next week.